Here by myself. I'm up here by myself. I hope my wallet's still in my car because I can't remember if I locked it, but I'm not going to think about that now because how many times in your life are you up on top of a pyramid by yourself? Just me. Just me. The place I'm going today was one of the biggest cities of the classic Mayan civilization. This huge metropolis of ancient Maya, who actually established the concept of zero before we did. So if you've been following along my channel, you know that this is episode 5, the last one, the ultimate, in a 5-episode series that I'm doing called The Jewels of the Yucatan Peninsula. This amazing part of Mexico that I came to for the first time in a Spanish club trip when I was 17 years old. I've been in love with it ever since, but it keeps getting more and more popular. So I'm going out of my way to find the out-of-the-way destinations that are going to continue to make this area special. This is one of the wonders of the world. Let's find out how to get there and what it's like. Come on this little adventure with me. So imagine yourself standing in front of towering pyramids, surrounded by lush jungle and the echoes of monkeys and birds. Exotic, amazing, and undiscovered. A civilization long gone, but you can still see it if you know where to go. All right, so it's a beautiful day. I'm starting out. I got my rental car for about $40 a day here in the village of Xpuhil. Just went around asking people and was able to find someone who rents out their car. He didn't bother to wash it or clean it or anything, so I guess that's something you have to specify in Mexico when you're renting a car. Like, yeah, I'd like it washed and vacuumed. So, yeah, basically it's gonna, kind of smell like feet. So, yeah, it's a beautiful day, and I'm gonna smell some smelly feet on a 2-hour drive to some awesome ruins. Sorry, it just really grosses me out sitting in somebody else's crumbs and filth, but hey, adventure travel. I just turned on the car and it made like a sound, but I think we're gonna be good. Let's positive vibes. It's a stick shift, very common in Mexico. Drove stick shift when I was a teenager, so that actually shouldn't be a problem. It's kind of fun. Let's see, I got her in first. Let's see how she goes. Away we go. I'm gonna take some of these bumpy roads. All right, let's get out of town. So I started off in the little town of Xpuhil. Took about 40 minutes to get to the turnoff into Calakmul ruins. You kind of pull over, register, you pay 10 bucks. I think I have to pay again up here. Then you get on another road. It's still paved, but it's through the jungle. And I don't know how much longer that's gonna be, but really the trip hasn't been too bad. There's some construction because they're working on that new Mayan train, which I think is gonna make this area explode, and things like this are no longer gonna be a secret. And like right now, I'm the only car I've seen on this road going down to Calakmul besides a utility truck. I have a feeling that's all going to change at some point. These few years might be the last times you can ever see an ancient Mayan ruin in its close to undiscovered state, where you can still climb things because there aren't as many tourists. They can allow climbing because it won't have the same impact on the stones, the same wear and tear. We'll see how much to myself I have it, but I have a feeling there's not going to be a ton of people in there because I have seen nobody on this road and only a couple cars were at the registration station. Okay, so the road wasn't quite as bad as some of the people were saying. I mean, it did get pretty narrow, so you just got to be careful. I probably drove too fast. Anyway, from the town of Xpuhil, I got here to the entrance in 2 hours. So that's why this place is so remote and so undiscovered, because you need 2 hours to get here from anywhere where they even have hotels and restaurants. I mean, there's nothing along the way. And that last drive is, I wouldn't say it's treacherous, but it's just like really windy and exhausting. So it's really exhausting to get here, and that's why it's going to pay off, right? Right. I would say the total cost is around $20 because you have to pay a couple times to get in here. So it's not a cheap ruin to go to, but of course $20 is worth it to go to a world-class archaeological site. So I'm here with my my last minute guide. His name is Martin. He's explaining a few things to me. But from the entrance, it's still a bit of a walk. So it's funny, like I saw different places for hiking, which they call senderismo in Spanish, that were really far back. Like if you had gotten off at one of those hiking trails, it would be like a day to get back in here, hiking all day. Because like I said, even from the spot where I drove all the way to the entrance, it's still a hike. So I can only imagine hiking from further back. So yeah, give yourself lots of time if you come to this secret place.
Calakmul is truly an undiscovered world treasure. It has the largest and tallest pyramids in the entire Yucatan Peninsula. Chichen Itza is about 100 feet tall. The Pyramid of Calakmul here is 150 feet tall. And the experience is completely different. Almost 4,000 people per day go to Chichen Itza a few hours from Cancun. Calakmul only gets about 60 people per day right now.
So what do you guys think? Have you ever been to a place like this? I'm standing in the Central Plaza right now. I'm all by myself, except for the guide that I paid to come with me, who actually happened to be the cleaner. There were no official guides, so they gave me the cleaner. He's so adorable. And he's been here working for 8 years, so he knows stuff about the site. But he's very humble. He's like, I'm just the cleaner. But right now I'm standing in the middle of not one of the tallest pyramids here, but you see one here, and then you pan around. And there's another one there. You can climb it. There's another one there, and there's another one behind me. So I'm standing in a former city. It wouldn't work because it would bring too many people here, but it would be great if there was a hotel closer to the ruin and I could come here like several days in a row. But being at least a 2-hour drive from the nearest hotel makes it a bit prohibitive, but again, that's what keeps it like this.
Calakmul is an ancient Mayan city located in the Mexican state of Campeche. It was one of the most powerful cities in the Mayan civilization, and it was a major rival of the city of Tikal, a #1 tourist site in present-day Guatemala. Calakmul was founded around 550 AD and reached its peak of power between 600 and 800 AD. Calakmul's monumental architecture includes pyramids, palaces, and plazas, many of which are still standing today. The city was home to an estimated 50,000 people at its peak. Calakmul was finally rediscovered in the early 20th century, and it's now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's known for its well-preserved inscriptions and stelae, which provide important information about the city's history and politics. Calakmul is located in the heart of a biosphere reserve of the same name, which covers over 700,000 hectares of tropical forest.
I'm basically standing almost alone, me and my little tour guide, here in what was an ancient city, a metropolis, a huge capital of its time. This place was called Calakmul, and it was the rival of a city in Guatemala called Tikal. The cool thing about this place, I mean, I feel like I'm just kind of dancing with spirits of the dead, and there's so much shade because they haven't cut down all the trees like they did at some of the more popular Mayan sites. I can't even describe to you what it is to be here. And it won't be like this for long. They're building a train through this area. Eventually you're not going to be able to climb the pyramids. You can still climb them now. So Calakmul, where I am right now, was this rival capital to Tikal, which is in what's now Guatemala. If you've ever gone to Guatemala, you know that Tikal is pretty much their #1 tourist attraction. If you come to Mexico, #1 tourist attraction, or maybe #2, Chichen Itza, which is only a couple hours from Cancun. So this place, which was a city to rival both of those cities, is actually still off the tourist radar. And you get to come here and you get to be with the birds and the jaguars hiding in the woods and still climb the pyramids.
I wonder if I would have been sacrificed. Probably. For some reason, this place is mostly European tourists. Americans haven't quite discovered it, or maybe they feel like there's a lot more time to see it. I'm standing in a plaza surrounded by like 3 or 4 of these equally sized pyramids. Look at the scale of this pyramid. So this is the famous one, this is the big one, this is this is pyramid this is pyramid number 2, estructura dos. This is only the first level, right? There's another level up there. Well, it is kind of warm, and it's definitely a calorie burn going up this structure. This is the step compared to my leg. So these are not baby steps. These are calf builders. I'm not even halfway up the structure. I just thought I'd take a moment because I'm right about at the tree line, the canopy line, and it's really breathtaking and quiet. I wish I knew what all the kinds of trees were. What do you think about these ruins? And would you like to climb a pyramid? Because if you do want to climb a pyramid, there's not that many places you can do that anymore. Sometimes you got to go off the beaten path. As you can see, I'm starting to leave civilization behind below me. Woo, stepping onto that sun. Wow, this is a huge pyramid. I mean, I've climbed other pyramids. Some of them used to be open and some of them still are open and they're smaller, you know. But this one, like, I'm only on one little side of it. Now it is a little bit hillier here. If you go to Chichen Itza and those other ruins closer to Cancun, it's very flat. So it is a little bit more naturally hilly here, which adds to the beauty. But even having said that, the hills are not this big. So a temple rising this high would have been something that they would only see in dreams until they came to Calakmul, one of the capitals of the civilization that was interconnected through all of southern Mexico and Guatemala. First time I've been on top of a pyramid, looking at the top of another pyramid. The city wouldn't have had the trees and the jungle around it. You would have been able to see all the structures from up here in classic Mayan times.
Calakmul was part of a larger network of Mayan cities that controlled trade routes and resources, such as obsidian, a valuable material used for making tools and weapons. The city's name, Calakmul, means 2 adjacent mounds, referring to the 2 large pyramids that are the site's most iconic and magnificent structures.
Okay, so I just learned something. I do now have the top of this pyramid to myself. I waited it out, so that was the benefit of coming out here on my own and not on a tour. Bacalar is like 4 or 5 hours from here, so what that means is if you take one of those tours from Bacalar, you don't get a ton of time here to hang out. You get enough, I think, but you definitely, if you want a lot of time to hang out here, if you want to just be able to do what you want and come and go as you please, you're gonna have to slap together some trip like I did and, you know, go stay out in the rough. Woo! Hope I don't get struck by lightning. The clouds are coming in and it feels amazing. There's no more sun giving me a nice bronze color, but it pinked up my cheeks. And here I am, all by myself, on top of the pyramid. Estructura dos. Structure number 2. I'm sure it had a much more fantastic name in the time of the classic Maya. Here at Calakmul, the still mostly undiscovered Mayan ruin. All by myself, don't wanna be all by myself. So here I am all by myself in Calakmul. Just me, just me, just me, just me. You would be looking out at this vast city of all your peers, at other temples that matched symmetrically. So another one there,
things would have coordinated with the sun and the sky and the moon. It's just incredible. Have to do at least one beach body shot because I worked so hard on my my fasting and my routine. And I don't know if I'm ever going to look like this again, but here I am, Calakmul. Calakmul. If you think you'll never make it, if you're one of my followers that don't think you'll ever make it to Mexico, to these amazing pyramids, that's okay. That's what I'm here for. And I'm gonna hold this selfie stick so far away that you can climb down with me. And I promise not to fall.
Calakmul played an important role in the so-called classic Maya collapse, a period of decline that affected many of the major cities of the Mayan and Mexican civilizations in the 9th century AD. So they were pretty much long gone from these cities like Calakmul by the time Cortez invaded Mexico in 1521, 600 years later.
I can only imagine what memories were had here over the hundreds of years that this was a dynastic city. I've always had kind of a desire to live by one of these ruins so that I could just come every day and, I don't know, find a shady spot and read a book in an atmosphere like this. You know, because it's one thing to see it as a tourist, or even to see it like I did today where I had a lot of time to myself. And another thing to have it as a background for your thoughts in your life. So the cool thing here at these ruins, which is a city, it's not just like one or two ruins, it's a city, is that for example, like this is structure number 3. There's nobody at structure number 3 because it's not the most spectacular here. If this ruin were anywhere else, it would be full of people because it's a beautiful ruin. So that's what I'm trying to say about this place, is that even the lesser ruins would be equal to places you would drive hours to see elsewhere. My guy's waving at me. This is going up my second huge pyramid. Like, I think he was saying 50 meters. I don't know meters that well, but that's what he was saying. My body is not acclimated like the Mayans. Looking down. Oh, I'm trying to sneak around the back way again because it's freaking hot. It's actually not that bad. It's just that, you know, you're in the direct sun. Okay, well, I'm not sure if my back way worked because it's really it's really steep back here. My legs are not that long. I gotta go back to the front, to the sun. Oh my goodness. So from several of these pyramids, you get a panoramic view of this part of the Calakmul Reserve, biologically known as the Petén Basin, biologically indistinct from northern Guatemala. And again, one of the only places I've ever been where you can climb a really high pyramid and see other pyramids from the top of that pyramid. I think those days are gone in most of Mexico. Structure number 1. My favorite is structure number 2. I like the 2-layer thing, like where the second layer is kind of a hidden surprise. Now it's got a little bit of fresh rain on my skin, purified water. A few more deep breaths. Fresh Mayan air before I go to Mexico City. Even the way out is lovely. Several stelae. This is a really well done archaeological park. And I've only seen the most popular parts of it. The museum is actually closed, unfortunately. It has some of the actual sculptures from the site, but you can't see it now and they don't know when it's going to reopen. And the Acropolis, which I think is also probably fairly nice, is also closed. I don't know if you can just go and see it, but I know you can't go on it, so I don't know. I didn't have time to go over there, but anyway, what is here is really well done. If you can make it all the way out here to Calakmul, definitely is one of the wonders of the world. definitely is a place to see while you still can.
I had one of the absolute best days of my life here. I love history, I love travel, and I love Mexico. I can't believe that I had this epic ancient city almost entirely to myself. I don't think it's going to be like that for long, so get there while you can. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you liked most about this video, where you'd like to see me go next, where you've been, what you've loved. I still interact with every single one of my fans at this time and place. I love doing this and I can't wait to hear from you. Hit the like button for me and click subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so that you get notifications and can be among the first to know whenever a new video comes out, packed with valuable information and research that's done for you, just like this one. I'm Toby Nomad. Until next time, keep traveling, keep dreaming.